Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is a hot one. She contacted Julia's old classmates, pretending to be all official, and bumped into that anxiety-inducing list. Ewan felt nervous and uneasy, but to prove her legitimacy, she met 3 classmates as a reporter to inquire about Julia's disappearance. She learned about the recent social gathering murder case and casually brought up Julia's disappearance, which suddenly made the atmosphere a bit. The girlfriends panicked, fearing Julia would be the 3rd victim. Guided by Ewan, the group gave her materials for an exclusive. To double-check, Ruan visited Julia's husband Zio Moji, but left disappointed. From Zio Moji's retelling, Ewan imagined Julia with loyal friends, a successful career, and an enviably perfect marriage. Ewan felt a twinge of jealousy. If only the school's little group had noticed her, she'd be the winner in life too. Suddenly, Zio Moji stepped aside to take a call, and Ewan decided to pocket a little interest, swiping a bottle of fine wine and a piece of Julia's cloth. She even dumped her leftover coffee into the couch cushions, feeling a bit better afterward. After the interview, Ewan stayed late to work on her article. Writing about 2 potential candidates for the next victim was all she could think of, but then a phone call turned her expression upside down. Turns out her sister was still thinking about selling the house and even called in a surveyor to measure the place. Ewan rushed back home in a hurry. She arrived just in time to shoo away the surveyor who had entered. Outside, it seemed Julia heard the commotion and tried to shout for help. With her mouth tied shut, Julia couldn't make coherent sounds. At that moment, Ewan wasn't in a hurry. She changed into Julia's clothes. Then she dressed up, holding fine wine, like a promoted reporter, and sampled Julia's man. Ewan felt she had hit the jackpot with Anthony and was all about celebrating her promotion, when suddenly an uninvited guest arrived. Out of nowhere, she barged in, calling out unfamiliar names, until Anthony got a call and left the scene. Ewan wanted to run after him to explain, but wasn't sure how to start. Meanwhile, something unexpected happened outside. Julia spotted a drunken Zio Moji sprawled on the street, slurring about Julia's disappearance. Sensing something was off, Ewan quickly offered him a ride home. Upon arrival, she found Zio Moji completely out of it. She sneakily unlocked his phone and stumbled upon the jaw-dropping secret. She couldn't wait to turn back and mock Julia's unfortunate marriage. Turns out her seemingly caring husband was really an abuser. For years, Julia had been under her husband's mental control, and when the truth came out, she completely dropped her facade. She was sobbing uncontrollably, and everything happened so fast that Ewan didn't know how to react. Ewan didn't act immediately. The next day, the article was published on schedule, showing a no-turning-back attitude. She thought killing Julia was only a matter of time, grabbing the attention of the female police officer. In fact, the female officer bore some resemblance to Ewan. They were both often overlooked in life. The officer, even as a cop, was stuck in a corner of the office. So she decided to catch the social gathering murderer and prove. While the officer was reviewing bar surveillance footage, she found a slight clue. As the second suspect left the bar, Ewan, who had been watching closely, followed suit. The officer was suspicious, while Ewan remained oblivious to the fact she was already betrayed by her own slip. With Julia's hands tied, Ewan had to play waitress for her enemy, serving drinks and food. Ewan was baffled. Why was she serving so diligently when Julia still wanted to escape? Although Ewan didn't notice, Julia secretly grabbed some scissors. When Ewan got close, Julia attacked, and she dodged to the side, tending to her own wounds. Then she grabbed a broom and swung at Julia's head. After Julia passed out, Ewan stood there in a daze. Ewan let Julia take a shower, and Julia didn't hold back, revealing the scars on her neck. She told Ewan that her husband, Zio Moji, pushed her against the glass door right after she ran away from home. Julia recalled how she had bullied Ewan years ago, filled with guilt, which sparked some sympathy in Ewan. Julia sincerely apologized for her past behavior, and slowly, the knots in Ewan's heart began to loosen. The warmth spread in her heart. Ewan was too afraid to let Julia go. If Julia regained her freedom and chose to call the cops, Ewan's life would be over. Suddenly, Ewan received a call from Sam. The cops had arrived at the repair shop, inquiring about Julia's whereabouts. Fortunately, Officer Black happened to encounter the guy who requested an investigation into Ewan. She showed her suspicion that Ewan was the social gathering murderer with the precinct, and everyone seemed to buy it. So Officer Black decided to take matters into her own hands and get the surveillance footage from the day Julia went missing. However, the footage from that day had been wiped clean, further cementing Officer Black's belief in Ewan's guilt. Meanwhile, Ewan returned to the newsroom, but the winds had shifted and her shine was overshadowed by colleagues. Jeff felt jealous and spontaneously organized a gathering for Julia, leveraging his influence. Yun sensed that something was off. Unease rose in her heart as participants began to speak up, and the tension escalated. Upon seeing Xiaomoji spot her from afar, Yun found herself inching closer, where she thought she was safely hidden. Suddenly, it felt like a storm was brewing, and chaos was about to unfold.